important during this whole process that a lot of people sort of dehumanize because of lack of time.
Gotcha. Yeah. Anything else we need to know kind of about the scholarship process?
I think that you really have to do your homework on it. And there are not only is it the schools that give scholarships, there are also sort of third party, either foundations or enterprises that give scholarship. One thing we're seeing more and more is that our firms are coming back. I mean, a couple of after 2008, firms basically pulled basically out of sponsoring people for school. We're seeing people come back now. Firms come back now and sponsoring people. We actually last year we actually saw our first full sponsorship to an executive MBA program in 2 years. We're seeing it a lot more on the executive level.
Mhm.
We're actually seeing an increasingly large number of consulting firms and some investment banks and private equity firms that are sponsoring their own candidates to go to business school. So you're seeing it a lot more happen as the economy slightly improves and people want to retain the best talent they possibly can. If you have if there's an ethnic background, if there's some type of interest or some type of social group, a lot of these organizations and oftentimes have unique boutique scholarships that are available. But the best source to really start for those is really the financial aid office or the admissions office who really know of all these programs that are out there.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you have to do some legwork, get in front of some
You got
people,
yeah.
ask them questions.
They're not going to come knocking on your door offering a scholarship unless you really go and you really go seek it out.
Yeah, is there any way, like where in the application process should we bring that up? Should we say, hey, we got good support from this organization, but we really want to go to your school? Is that a strategy?
I think that if you bring it up front, I think it's you take away a trump card in a huge negotiation factor. You got to get into a school before you can start bargaining with them.
Hmm.
Okay, and so I think you get in and then you start bargaining with them. I don't think you put it as basically an ultimatum saying I'm not going to go to you unless I get a scholarship. I think people that will turn people off or definitely give people the wrong impression, and I think that sort of like would leave a black mark on your candidacy even before you get anything. I think a viable candidate can become non-viable if they start saying I'm not going to go to your school unless you get a scholarship. I'll say,
Hmm.
yeah, I think that would really leave the wrong impression.
Gotcha. Any other thoughts before we go on?
No, I think that's really about a scholarship. I think it's a lot of legwork, and you really have to sort of really do your homework. But there is money out there; it just has to be found.
Gotcha. So in this episode, we kind of talked about waitlist strategy. We talked about reapplication process and getting a scholarship. In the other episodes, we talked about picking a school, talked about GMAT prep. We talked about admissions process. Is there anything I've missed? The last question.
I think that that's the one thing is sort of like what we're seeing in terms of people applying to business school, and the numbers have come out this last year. The applications were down, depending on the schools. I mean, I think Harvard said they had a 3 or 4% decrease. Most schools across the board had about a 9% increase, a decrease in applications. Through July of this year, I think the number of people taking the GMATs have been up significantly. Once again, I think it's an economic variable. So people feel more comfortable that they'll have a job and a very good job when they get out of business school. Regardless of what the numbers say, year after year after year, the quality of candidates is really improving. And so even though there may be fewer candidates applying on any given year, we're seeing year after year people are better prepared. They've taken this as a long-term process. They're willing to really to invest whatever it takes to make sure their application is as good as possible, whether in terms of getting the highest GMAT score, presenting the best essays they possibly can, or interviewing the best they can. They're